to fight him.
Thanks, Max.
Max, you got a lot of slack for yeah, don't post that, guys. You got a lot of slack for saying Manny Pacquiao is a better pound for pound fighter than Floyd Mayweather. I actually disagreed with you.
Yes, sir.
And tell us why.
By the way, I'm surprised that boxing fans, unless you're caping for a guy, this is pretty straightforward. Now, you could, I said arguably, you could easily argue Floyd's side. I think you would probably lose the argument right now, but you know, like depending on how well you argue it. We're talking about two upper echelon all-time greats.
You would lose if Floyd? You were arguing Floyd? Is that what you're saying?
What's that?
You would lose the argument if you were arguing.
Yeah, but guys, this isn't that hard. Let me give you an example, okay? I mean, everyone knows my argument, right? Or are we all playing dumb?
8 divisions.
It's like Duran over Hagler.
Guys,
right?
let me make it real simple for you. Chocolatito, let's say he moves up and loses a tough fight 5 years from now to Terrence Crawford. Who's the better pound for pound fighter?
Assuming Chocolatito wins titles in between.
Right. Chocolatito moves up, wins all kinds of titles, and one day loses a close, tough fight to Terrence Crawford. I don't know.
But he's gotten older. He's grown out of division.
Who?
I'm just saying.
Yeah, but so is Terrence Crawford.
You can't make the weight.
But so is Terrence Crawford. I picked Terrence Crawford because he started 135. Floyd started 130. He turned pro. He's 130 pounds.
But Chocolatito was 20 pounds under his weight. So I'm saying like a guy like Floyd Mayweather who walks around at 152, 155 maybe.
But it's still where it's still where you fight. Pacquiao wasn't able to make flyweight. He was a flyweight who won the lineal championship. So if that's not the most, or one of the 2 or 3 most impressive things in the history of boxing, the fact that he could move up, give me an example of another flyweight who was the lineal champion, moved up, won a bunch of titles in between, and then was that good as a welterweight.
Titles are subjective, as you just said about Sugar Ray Leonard.
No, but I'm talking about lineal titles. Pacquiao won lineal titles. Indisputable, that's the man who beat the man, or else putting belts together. No one had ever done it before, ever. There have been some great flyweights. Finito Lopez was even smaller, but Mark Too Sharp Johnson, Jimmy Weil, Pancho Villa, Miguel Canto. A lot of great flyweights. No one ever did that. No one ever came close to dreaming about doing that, and then Pacquiao did it. So the fact that Pacquiao is even competitive with Floyd Mayweather, who's one of the greatest pure boxers ever, when he came up from flyweight, and so that's one in terms of the head-to-head competition. And do any of us believe that if they were the same size, naturally, Floyd would beat Pacquiao? You really think that?
Floyd is better than Pacquiao.
You think he would beat Pacquiao if Pacquiao was a natural welterweight? So
I think you beat him at anyway.
So if you made Floyd, you shrunk him down to a flyweight or a Pacquiao size, Floyd would beat him. A lot of Floyd's advantages on Pacquiao, it's not just boxing skill, it's he's able to impose that boxing skill. He's a naturally bigger fighter with enough pop to keep guys like Canelo honest. And he's longer. That's a lot of it. But I mean, you could argue the other way, of course. But the idea that what I'm saying is far-fetched, if you come to it from that point of view, you either don't know enough about boxing or you're being dishonest. That's like a basic dishonest position if you act as though that there's not an argument there. And in fact, I really don't have a horse in the race. I always thought Mayweather was going to beat Pacquiao. I never thought Pacquiao was going to beat him. I prefer pure boxers. But if you want to ask me, I was a little kid rooting for Sugar Ray Leonard to beat Roberto Duran. But if you say who's a better pound-for-pound fighter, Sugar Ray Leonard or Roberto Duran, it's Roberto Duran. Not only did he accomplish everything he accomplished, but when they went head-to-head at Sugar Ray's best weight, you know, it was like even up.
I'm going to humbly disagree with you.
That's, of course.
That's fine.
Yeah,
we have an opinion.
Absolutely.
Were you surprised that it got so much attention, Max, when you said that? And everybody...
No, because Floyd's Floyd has a fan base that swears by him. That actually, some of them do, but many of them know very little about what came before Floyd in boxing. But they're just so sure Floyd's the best because they never saw him lose. Once upon a time, I remember when I was a little kid, arguing with old-timers about Rocky Marciano. It's the same thing. Marciano's the greatest ever. And I was like, come on, you really think he would beat Muhammad Ali? You really think that? Yeah, he never lost. Okay, all right, what can I tell you? I disagree.
Thank you, Matt.
All right, guys.
Thank you, Matt.
Have a good night.